What's going on, guys? Chad from Scoped In here, and today we're going to be talking about the equipment that we've seen in Halo Infinite so far. So before we go ahead and talk about the new equipment and essentially the modified equipment that we've seen somewhat in the past that's kind of changed a little bit, let's talk about what equipment is, because if you've never played Halo 3 or some of the newer Halo games, you might have no idea. Essentially, equipment is stuff that spawns on the map, players have to fight for it, and these things, if you're lucky enough to get them, can give you a tactical advantage, and they can be really useful during your game. Some of the new equipment that we're going to be talking about in just a minute are the grappling hook, the repulsor, and the threat sensor. But before we go ahead and talk about the new equipment, let's talk about the modified equipment, or equipment that we've essentially seen in previous Halo games before that have changed in some way, shape, or form to fit the playstyle of Infinite. Starting first, we have the drop shield, which is kind of like the cousin of the bubble shield that we had in Halo 3, and it's quite a bit less overpowered. The drop shield is a piece of equipment that you essentially throw out, and this big shield wall comes up, and it has little segments in it that can actually be shot out, which is why it's a little bit less overpowered than the bubble shield we had in Halo 3, because that thing was pretty much invincible. So players are going to be able to target this thing and actually deal damage to it and shoot holes in it, which is going to not make it as overpowered, but is going to be a temporary shield of protection. The overshield is also going to be making a return, and this is what we'd call a legacy power-up. This is something that used to be on the map that you would just walk over and pick up, but it's actually changed quite a bit in Halo Infinite. This is something you can pick up and decide to activate whenever, which leads to more strategy down the line. And we also have active camo coming back, which was also a legacy power-up, and it seems to be the same way. You activate this whenever you want, and this is going to have a lot of implications for really strategic gameplay in the future in Halo Infinite. Also, we want to go ahead and mention the possibility of damage boost returning. This was a legacy power-up that we saw in Halo 4 through the ordnance system, something that you would call in similar to like a score streak in a game like Call of Duty, and we're not quite sure if it's going to be in the game, but there's a clip in the multiplayer reveal trailer that makes us believe that it might possibly come back, or maybe this is just some kind of armor effect. Now let's go ahead and talk about the strategic uses of equipment. Equipment can be used in many different ways. The grappling hook can not only be used to grapple you to a location, but also bring a weapon to you. The repulsor can be used to deflect projectiles or boost yourself up to an otherwise impossible place to reach. You can save the overshield for an opportune time for a flag cap push or to stop a push. Keep in mind there is no more burning power-ups like in Halo 5. If you die while using equipment, you'll drop that equipment for anyone else on the map to pick up. So now you may be asking yourself, how can this equipment be used together? Chaining together equipment could be a game-changing move to turn the tide. Let's say you have a repulsor and someone decides to shoot you with a threat sensor. This is assuming we can stick the threat sensor to players, but could you use it to repulse it back at them and be able to use their own equipment against them? Maybe you can use grapple to take overshield. The possibilities are endless within the sandbox, and you bet we're going to be testing out every possible way to use this equipment. And that's all we know so far about Halo Infinite equipment. If you enjoyed this video and you want more Halo content, click that like button and hit subscribe. Make sure you turn on notifications for more Halo content in the future. And this has been Chad from Scoped In, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.